are there any investigative reporters that really will delve into the Biden family, all that, even though they're pardoned and they won't be able to be tried for their crimes or alleged crimes?
So if it's going to be investigated, I suspect it will be by that committee. They incompetently investigated Biden Inc. It's part of why the Bidens got away with it and the press was able to pretend nothing happened. If they were more competent, maybe that could lead to the press. Again, the way a lot of investigative reporting works, talked about laziness before. Most investigative stories are handed to the news organization because the politically interested actors, like once I broke a story during the Clinton administration that the Clintons were accused of raising money in the White House because they were having donors to the White House and using the Lincoln bedroom. And so some Democrat went to the Reagan Library and got a video that was in a VHS tape in the Reagan Library of Ronald Reagan in the White House when he was president talking to donors. And they gave that tape to me. And I had to pretend it was my shoe leather work, that I had flown out to the Reagan Library and screened hundreds of hours of tapes and said, Eureka, I found it. That's the way it works. Okay. So if reporters want to investigate the Biden story, that would be smart to start having lunch with the committee staff who are going to be doing the investigation and say, we, two-way or the Politico, we want to break story about why these people got pardoned. Let us, be part of, learning what you learn and breaking stories along the way. Sean and then Dan, and again, Ann, thank you for the question. Stand by if you have a follow-up after Sean and Dan weigh in. Gentlemen.
Well, first of all, I'm glad that you outed your. I mean, that's exactly it, right? So
it was a great scoop, but
no. But I mean, like the process. When I was at the RNC, we had a big research team. We'd find something, put a pretty bow on it, and then shop it to reporters, and they would break it as if, to Mark's point, like we did all this. Like they would go,
what's the weasel word reporters use when they do that, Sean? Do you know? Obtained.
Oh, yeah. I was
video
say,
in a series of bank records obtained by ABC News. Yeah. ABC News obtained them because someone from the committee said, here's the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, there's a couple other weasel words that were coming to mind that I won't use, but yeah, I mean, so that when you see one of these investigations, know that somebody put it all together, connected all the dots, put it in a pretty bow, handed it to him, and said, "Here you go." And the problem to answer your fundamental question, I think Mark's absolutely right. There's very few people that showed an interest while Biden was in office. I see even fewer that will show an interest. A guy like John Solomon or some right-leaning folks, maybe. Peter Schweizer's done some great work on. But then the question is, does anyone cover it? And that's, I think, the million-dollar question right now. But if the committee does some work and finds some really good stuff potentially, but they didn't cover it when he was in office. I don't have very high expectations that they'll cover it when he's out of office.
Dan.
I agree with what's been said. I'll be curious if any Democrats would facilitate such work to hand to a journalist. In 16 and 15, one of the reasons Biden did not run was it was made known to him in the party that if you run against Hillary Clinton, everything is fair game.
Are you breaking news here?
That is, and I know that to be fact.
Yeah. Interesting. And were they specifically talking about Biden Inc.?
The entire Biden family would be fair game. And I think after Beau's death, he did not want to have the family drag through it.